I'm Janet Rose at the Montana Center for Horsemanship, and our guest this week for the Conference of Horse, Human, and Nature, our very special guest, is Dr. Temple Grandin. Temple has really changed the world for animals, for horses, for people with autism, and for humanity. So you've been a consultant to the Lassance Ranch here in Dillon. This is your first time at the Montana Center for Horsemanship. And as you know, we have multiple degree programs in partnership with the university. We have students with autism and students without. We're in the natural horsemanship degree program. Give me your impression of what you are seeing here.
Well, the thing I'm seeing is these horses are calm. They're not switching their tails when they're standing waiting in line. They're not jumping their feet up and down, chomping on the bits and waving their head around. Just how calm the horses are. And then you go out and look at some other place and the horse is fidgeting and doesn't settle down. And so that shows me very simply you're doing something right. Now, people will argue over the name of different cattle handling programs or horse handling programs. I have found a lot of really good trainers do the same thing. So call it different stuff, but do a lot of the same things. And the same thing is true with early teaching for severely autistic kids. Mm-hmm. There are some teachers that have the knack. They have this ability. They can just push the kid just enough to get progress without driving them into sensory overload. And they'll do the same things no matter what the name of the treatment is.
Well, speaking of that, we've had so many parents contact us and say, oh, Temple Grandin is coming to the Montana Center. Tell me about what horses and animals can do for my child, my young person, my teenager with autism.
Well, autism, when they get to be a teenager, is a very broad spectrum, going all the way fully verbal. Elon Musk is autistic. He came out on Saturday Night Live. I've always thought he was autistic. To somebody who's nonverbal and can't dress themselves. So you've got this big range. Well, let's talk about the fully verbal segment. Some of these kids just become instant best buddies with animals. They totally understand them. And this gets back to the sensory way of thinking. When I was a teenager, I was bullied in school. I was called all kinds of horrible names. And the only places I was not bullied was horseback riding and activities with horses. That just about saved me. In fact, I wrote a paper called How Horses Help the Teenager with Autism Make Friends and Learn How to Work.
You met one of our students, Will Landau.
Yes.
And, what he says is, and he's high on the autism
that's
spectrum,
right.
And he's one of the students in the natural horsemanship program. And he said, I just want to communicate that horses changed my life.
I have seen kids on the autism spectrum getting involved with horses, also getting involved with some other activity where they could have friends doing the activity, and they just kind of blossomed. Because then they got recognized for being good at something.
What would be your final summarizing message to people, not only about autism, but about horses, about our relationship with animals?
For some kids on the autism spectrum, an animal career is absolutely the way to go.
Anything more to parents and people who are
the big problem I'm seeing with a fully verbal end of the spectrum is parents that get too overprotective. And the child is not learning basic skills like shopping, bank account. They're reluctant to get the child their first job. Now, there are some things you have to be careful. I wouldn't put them on a McDonald's takeout window. That's too much multitasking. Or someplace it's really chaotic and noisy. But there's a lot of jobs that they can do really, really super well.
Temple Grandin, thank you so much. We're so appreciative to have Temple Grandin here at the Montana Center for Horsemanship, the first international conference of horse, human, and nature. It's been an honor to have you with us.
It's great to be here.